Black Caviar winning the Goodwood in Adelaide, which is where we're heading for Group 1 racing later on the weekend, Beaver.
Yes.
As we join us again for our first official episode of Show Us Your Tips.
Yes, no worries.
We had our launch episode last week. We had a bit of a practice and a knock around, but we're back full-time now.
Yes.
We'll be doing this twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I believe.
Yep, for the midweek racing and weekend racing.
Yep, so how did you see him last week? How's your week been on the punt and in life in general?
Yeah, last Saturday was a pretty tough week, as we said. Pretty mixed bag with trying to find winners. Melbourne's a pretty hard venue to find winners at the moment, but if you can find some winners, there's plenty of value out there. Be interesting how the tracks play this weekend with a bit of rain in both Sydney over the last 24 hours, and Melbourne was a bit heavy yesterday at Sandown.
Yeah, heavy yesterday. I had 5 bets yesterday across all the states, 5 seconds. Oh, so hopefully I'm due for a change.
Yeah, I backed a few winners yesterday, so I had a good day.
I don't want to list them. Yeah, good day?
Yeah, I did have a good day, so I'm pleased and gives me a bank for Saturday, which is nice.
That's what we want. So we're going to get, because there's Group 1 racing this week, we're going to include more fuel. So we're going to do the quaddie legs at Adelaide, Sydney and Melbourne.
Yep.
So we'll kick off with Kensington.
Yep.
First quaddie legs is the benchmark 78 over 1,300 metres. Beaver, how does the market look?
Yeah. The favourite for the is Rocha Clock at about $3. So Taken at $4.80. Mydra Mitra is $6. Secura $6.50. Bring the Ransom $7, and the rest of the market is 12s or better.
And how have you treated the Kenzo form? Treated as a heavy, or Kenzo tends to drain quite well?
Yes.
Oftentimes it plays quite quick when it's wet.
I think at the moment you're probably looking at soft. Just depends how much rain we get tomorrow, Friday, and also Saturday morning.
Yep, I worked on, tends to favour either on pace or the slingshot runners, so sort of out the bend, sort of in the running line, slingshot down the outside, so that's the way I looked.
Yep.
Speed for the 6th race gives us get your 60 emergency, get to start, should punch through from the inside barrier in lead, bring the Ransom, my Demetra for the Snowdens pushing up. It's Lily from out wide will push right across, leaving Rocker Clock can come across with it, but pretty genuine pace in the 6th. Do you want to kick off?
Yeah, I'll kick off, Daggy. I think it's quite an interesting race and probably a pretty tricky first leg of the quaddie here. Rocha Clock looks to be a horse with a little bit of ability. First up was probably a bit outclassed in a much better race than this one. So it's hard to get a line through its first up run. I think if it gets across from the barrier and can just sit off the pace, it could probably, as you said, slingshot down the middle and potentially be too good for this field. That's the way I'm looking at it. Main dangers, I think my Demetra on the pace could run well, and my other horse that I don't mind in this first up run, Bring the Ransom, was a good run. And if it can reproduce that or something a bit better, I think it's the other danger.
Yeah, a lot of these are tied together through the my Demetra race. I went to Rocker Clock as well. I thought it kicked off on Saturday, sat out 3 wide outside lead and worked quite hard. And just busted first up, I think.
Yep.
You forgive that. I think it's probably a better horse in this grade. It just wasn't an ideal kickoff point. So the booking of Bowman, I believe, is a bit of a sign as well.
Yep.
So I think it'll have a better run and be able to sit just off the pace if Italy leads across there. So that was the way I went as well. No surprises there for tipping a favourite. Secure, I think, out of the My Demetra race, did it tough, and probably the forgive run out of there. And at the moment, what's that, about $7?
Yeah, it's about $6.50.
Yeah, I think they were the two similar I'd play to you. One we'll throw in a quaddie later on, worth a mention, is It's Lily. Probably not keen to play, but a genuine wet tracker if it does get heavy later in the afternoon. But I think
$34.
Yeah, so that price, why not throw something on it? But I think it's probably been forgotten from the market there. It might just be the pace, and if the emergency doesn't get a run from the inside gate there, the Waterhouse horse got your 6. It probably gets a bit more favours on pace. So, but I agree. I think that Rocket Clock's probably a horse with a bit of ability.
Yep.
We'll head into the race 7, the benchmark 88 over 1,250 metres this time. Give us a market.
Yep. Your favourite's Hilo, as expected, around the $3.40 mark. You've got Hightail at $4, Improvement at $6, Trumbull at $7, Ready to Profit 10, and the rest are 11s or better.
Beautiful. I'll kick off then. Give us some speed first. Hilo with Tim Clark pushes through. Ready to profit if it starts. It's no good in what I've seen, but if it starts, we'll cross and lead with Oakfield Twilight. And then it's Bolero King from inside barrier. So a fair bit of pace for a small field. Bit of pressure on pace there. Black Magnum into the Abyss Lob on their backs for a decent run. I'll go with this one. I'm going to stick with Hilo. I liked it 2 starts back out through the IndyCar and Ice Bath race. Like I said, when I talked about that race with Barney a few weeks back in our other show, it sort of zigged when it should have zagged and was okay the next start. And I think this is a drop in grade that will suit. Improvement with Tim Clark, who's quite a good judge of speed, can probably sit just behind those 2 leaders and be the other danger there. The trial, and the only other one I'll mention, Black Magnum, what do you do with that? Would time just dependent? Or?
Yeah, I think it's time to put a line through Black Magnum for me.
That was a question mark I had. And Into the Abyss trialled quite well was the other one that may need a run with John Thompson, traditionally not a first-up horse, but trials were okay, and it's probably come through stronger races through Melbourne and Sydney carnival form, really.
Yep.
So it's the other one I'll mention, but predominantly high-low for me, I think.
Yeah, look, high-low for me as well. So we've agreed on the first 2, but its form just looks better than these ones. Should be cherry ripe now. Fourth start back after a spell. Its first 3 runs have been pretty good and around the mark. Looks to be a little bit better class than these horses. I think its races it's running.
It's dropping back in class.
Yeah, it's dropping back in class, I think, for this. So drawn well, should get the run of the race, and I think should be too good for these. So I think $3.40 is not a bad price at the moment. I don't think you'll get that on race day.
To put it simply, it's the only Saturday horse in the race.
Yeah, that's right.
The more you look back through here.
Except if you're going down to Black Magnum, as you said, who's hard to get a line on. Sir Bacchus hasn't
been a Saturday horse for 3 years.
Yeah, that's right, and everything else is pretty ordinary.
Ready Profit, if it was dry, I'd be interested in, but awful wet stats and just no indication at all it's going to go in the wet.
Plus, giving the fave 5.5 kilos. That's I just can't get me.
No, I'm with you there. What about the one we've left out is the one in the market, the Snowden horse, Hightail. Just weren't interested.
Yeah, I think to be honest, it's probably it's the best chance outside of Hilo. I think it could run a race. First up, bit of a question mark there. I wouldn't put a line through it, that's for sure. If you like it, I think it's a chance. But
I thought the trial was awful.
Yeah,
trial. He was ridden from the 400. Worked home okay, but when I watch trials, you like to see him just cruise around and trial. But he was working quite hard, I thought, and no real indication that it's going to like the wet. It has one in heavy, but it was a low grade maiden at Gosford. There we go. No. But the trial was no good, so I left that out. And then you're looking everyone else is tied together through Bolero King, basically.
Exactly.
Bolero King improvement. So outside that, high-low was the obvious. So how easy is this?
Yeah, we're going well.
We'll find out on Monday. Race 8, benchmark 88, this time out to 1,400 metres. We see Face Toss coming back here. Beaver, what's the market like?
Yeah, the market is Bandersnatch at $2.80, Face Toss at $3.90, Outrageous $6.50. The Kingdom Come, $7.50, Ashrani, $8.50, and 12s or better the rest.
Bandersnatch pushes her on leads first up.
Yep.
Cutter Deal follows it over. Dark Eyes on the fence in the Beyond Baker colours gets a position. Face Toss out wide. He has to make a decision. I'm guessing he'll probably lean to go back, but can probably get across and find a spot there with Outrageous. Not a lot of other pace, really. How'd you go here? Give it.
Yeah, this is a tricky one.
Did you do the market? I can't remember.
Yeah, I just did the market.
Perfect.
Yeah, so this is a tricky race. I tipped Face Toss last start, and I'm probably talking through my kick here. I thought it was home and got nutted on the line. A little bit different again this start. It's drawn 15 and 59.5, so it's carrying I think 5 or 6 kilos more than it carried last start. So very much up in the weights. The limit is obviously considerably higher here. Look, I'm going to go for Outrageous. Mm-hmm. I thought Outrageous first up run was pretty good. Drawn slightly better, a couple of kilos less. I'm hoping he can get slightly better run than Face Toss and prove too strong in the run home. Bandersnatch first up. I think it was due to run prior to
last week. We talked
last
about
week,
it. In the second last week, and I can't think who won that.
Yeah.
But we did talk about it last week.
Yeah, so they've obviously
I've
got it ready for this weekend. It's a horse on the way up with some ability, but again, it's been racing midweek company to go to Saturday company. So I'm going to tip Outrageous and the Main Danger Face-Toss.
Perfect. I'm going to go with Face-Toss. I thought off the trials where I wasn't that impressed. Last week was a good return, just got bloused by Bowman in the last stride, now gets Bowman. The gates are concerned, but like I said, that sort of slingshot run, getting out wide late in the day could suit that horse. I think it's probably got the best late turn of foot in the race. Outrageous, I agree with what you've said there, don't need to add much more, but the Bandersnatch trials, it got passed by Costello in one trial and then really had to work in the second trial. And again, getting a bit hooked up on trials, which I don't tend to do, but this time of year, everything's first and second up. So there's a bit of that. So I defaulted to Face-Toss. I absolutely respect you about Outrageous. The one I want to mention that's a little battler and likes to wet is Liston Varna.
Yep.
She tends to go between Saturday and Wednesday, but she was in the worst part of the ground in that Bolero King race that I talked about before. And worked home okay, 400 metres and a wet track suits for both.
Yeah, be fitter.
And be fitter for first up. So when we talk out of Quaddie, she'll be going in for me, but I agree with what you said.
$13.
And gets a nice run, and like you said, you get 14, you'll probably get better in a day.
Yep.
Wet track, Jay Collett on a wet track, all the Kiwi jockeys on wet tracks are gold as well.
That's right.
So I think that's the way to go. Any thoughts? Ask you in a couple. Did you have a look at Surreal Step, which hasn't got a jockey, so may well not run?
Yep.
No thoughts there?
No
Slightly
thoughts
raced.
there, yeah. The only other one was Ashrani. If you forgive last start, the 4 runs prior were pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Scott Glenn Boss aboard. Again, it's drawn wide, but yeah, it's not without a chance.
Yep, perfect. Not much more to add there. So we head to the last, over the 1550, another benchmark 78. So there's some stock standard racing this Saturday in Sydney.
Yeah, tough.
Give us a market though.
Yeah, we've got Juventus, favourite at $4.20. California Salto $4.80. Agassi $5. Word for Word is $6. Cypervention $10, and then you can get 16 plus the rest of the runners.
Beautiful. The speed comes from out wide with Commander and Blacksail working across. Agassi has Nash on board, so from a fair gate, we'll probably punch through and lead those two as they look for a position. Love Shack Baby, Bald Eagle, Word for Word, posing up, which gives Juventus, Wild About Her, Travancore their backs. California Salto goes back, and Cap Fever, caught out wide, will go back as well. My first note on this race was, after I spent a bit of time, it was no idea. And then I had more of a second thought about it, and I thought just intention with Agassi getting the lead and the booking of Nash first up is a bit of intention. So went back that way. What price was it? It was in the market though, wasn't it?
Agassi was
no
$5
spoil there. Yeah, just went over to upload. And so that was the first place I sort of went back to. I've had enough of Juventus, had enough of a lot of these horses, word for word,
Yep.
and those sort of horses. So other than that, I just will probably be having an early beer the way this looks.
Yeah, tough race. Probably the hardest race on the day, so you won't want to be chasing too much by the time you come to this part of the day, because this is really, really tough. I went for California Salto from the Snowden Yard. Look, it's only third up in this preparation. The others have had a few more starts than that. First up wasn't bad. Last run was okay. It's down in the weights, drawn well. If McAvoy can give it a good run, I think it can be right in the finish. So beautiful. California Salto for me, and I have word for word I'll throw in purely be out of loyalty to the horse. I didn't tip it last start.
If it gets up this week,
yeah,
you just don't want to pull any more of your hair out, Beaver.
Yeah, that's right. Hence for the hat. But,
that's right, both in the same camp.
That was my tips for the quaddie legs there.
Beautiful. So we'll come back and talk about any other bets for the day later on.
Yeah, did you have anything else at Randwick that you liked? Anything else of note?
I did. I will come back and talk about it at the end. We'll go through a few other best bets around the country. I think we'll do all three. We'll do all three states at the end.
Perfect.
But we'll do our quaddie before we make a phone call. So quaddie, I had some quaddie numbers written down. I was quite wide, but you are happy to snip them up. What do you reckon of the first leg?
First leg, I think you got to throw it. Well, we both tip Rock O'Clock, My Demetra, Sakura.
Yep.
So we got those three. What else did you like?
I had
You had
It's Lily in there, and I had the 13 Feather if it gets a run.
Yeah, perfect.
Anyone else there? I think
we'll go wide.
So,
we'll go wide for the first leg.
I gave us 6 numbers.
Yep. No, that was five. Five numbers. So we've got 5, 7, 3, 13.
Oh, I had so taken as well for JMac. And put in or put out?
Oh, we'll leave that out, mate.
Leave it out?
Yep.
All right, done. Get a bit of percentage there. Second leg, I had 1, 3, 4 and 9, which is ready to profit, but I'm happy to leave out on reflection. So 3, 4, 9 is improvement into the abyss, high-low, so taking on Black Magnum and Hightail.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yep. If it does get dry, I'll put ready to profit back in. If it somehow doesn't rain for 2 days, but not optimistic there.
Yep.
Ray, leg 8, what have you got?
Mate, I think
I've gone real wide here. This is my wide leg, but happy to be chopped down.
I've got 3, 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got to chuck in the 10.
Yep.
And the 13.
Yep. I had, on top of that, 15, which is emergency, so happy to leave out if it doesn't get a run. And 9, only because I talked about it's trialled quite well, gelded, and gets Nash first up. We mentioned it last week, 2 weeks back we mentioned it.
Happy.
Just to throw in for a bit of value.
Yeah, chuck the 9 in, cut the 15, throw the 9.
Yep, I'll go with that. So, and the only other one at 30s was Cut a Deal, just because it trialled well and was pretty good first up on the pace, but happy to leave out as well.
Yeah, we'll leave Cut a Deal out.
Cool, so it gives us 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Yes.
Yep. Perfect.
Beautiful. And in the last, what have you got?
In the last, I had 6, 13, 10 and 5. 6, 13, 10 and 5. Yeah, I'll throw the 9 in. Perfect.
And the only other one I might, I'm fine with that. The Bald Eagle, I took 2 looks at, but happy to keep skinny there.
Yeah, perfect.
At 30s. Did you write those in for a percentage?
No, I didn't.
Okay, let's go again.
So what do we got?
So I'll recap them. So in the last, give us your numbers again, Beav.
We had 6, 13,
10 and 9.
10, 9.
Beautiful. So 5 in the first.
I can work that out.
Yep, 5, 3, 5 and 4. So 15.
75. It's 300 combinations.
And combos.
So we get 30 for $100. How much
That'd be a bit more than that. We had this conversation last week.
Yeah, 33%.
Yeah, sweet.
If you had 100, so if you had $50 on that, you'd be around the 16, 17%.
Yep.
Right.
So you only needed to pay $800 to get your money back, and you're away. No, sorry, not at all. Where's my mouse? I'm only a tax agent. As I wait for this to upload, 500. Yeah, and your money back. So anything else is a bit of cream for the day.
Which will be no problem.
Beautiful. Now we've got our man who's asked us to give him a buzz every week and check in with a bit of a street corner tip.
Yep.
Old Hotmail Harv on the phone. We're going to give him a buzz now and see what he likes this weekend. He's got his ear to the ground in terms of the pub punters. So let's see if he answers this. He's got his phone on silent now. Watch this.
Well, hello, boys.
What's going on, mate? How are you?
G'day, buddy.
Oh, I'm going all right. Can't believe it. Isolation actually did a river walk today.
Did you? Which river?
The Feehan River.
Oh.
How many rivers are out here? No. I went to the river store. That's where I went. I knew I went somewhere. No, I did a river walk.
Oh, good stuff.
Well, apparently it's trendy. Yeah, so...
Was there any room with all the other people down there?
I'm barred from wearing footy shorts and long socks now, but anyway, I looked a treat.
Yeah, mate, you're looking fit.
Yeah, I look like I've eaten someone fit.
Same thing.
So how's the week been on the punt? Yeah, the Punters Club went all right last week?
Grand Piano, did you say?
Mm.
Yeah, Yeah, I noticed that, I give you one tip and haven't you stuck with that chestnut, and then all of a sudden I didn't bet on it last week and you win money, hey? You kept that quiet, didn't you?
That's what it's all
Some
about.
of us are out.
That's why, I felt so guilty I started a podcast.
Yeah. Some of us are out working in the day. We don't have all the time to read the form guide like you.
I can't add much more to that, no.
You giving some people winners this week?
I hope so.
Yeah, I think we're looking good this weekend.
We're on the same page this week, which is good.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good.
What do you got for us, mate?
What have I got? What do I like? Ramwick, actually. We stay close to home this weekend. I liked race 4, number 9. Let's see how good you are.
Lacoste, mate.
Oh, very good.
Paying about around the $4.40 mark at the moment. Snowden Train, McAvoy aboard.
Yeah, I was looking at it. What was it? 4 starts, and out of that, it's had 1 win, 3 places. I mean,
on the track,
what's it paying now? 440. It can go either way, but that's not a bad.
Yeah, I think good chance. It was a good run first up.
Yeah.
Mr. McAvoy's on it, so that's not a bad horse. And then, you could probably put your house on that one and do all right. But I've got one at Morfettville that I've noticed. It's named after you, actually. The other guy. It's called. No, it's not. I am eloquent. And race 6, number 12. Now it's paying a few dollars. It's paying $20.
It's a Busserton horse, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Busserton
and it's
first up.
coming off good Group 1 form, actually. And it's won 2 from 2 in the heavy. And you know what, really? It's probably worth 10 each way.
Yeah,
beautiful.
It's been a bit of money for it early doors. It opened at 26-1. It's into 17s.
It's into 17s already, is it?
Yeah, so, mate, you must have been
Who else are you selling your tips to?
I'm not telling. None of my friends have gotten any money. That's not going to change the form.
The biggest surprise there is you've got friends.
You'd have a look in the prize pool and it's up at $8 with the friends I hang around. It's not going to change any form. Hey, I know you always like a little one-liner from me and all that, and I know your listeners might like it, but I bloody just tried to log on to tennis.com. The server was down.
That's good.
Thank you, Trev.
Okay.
All right, see you, Harv.
Happy punting, mate.
Give the tips.
Good luck,
See you,
mate.
boys.
Bye. There's our street corner man, Harv. He's checked in this week with a couple I don't mind, actually.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Le Cosmo.
Cosmo's been set up nicely there.
Yeah, not overly keen on his I Am Eloquent. That's an absolute tough race, that one. That's a cracker of a race. But,
which we'll get to soon. So we're just going to have a quick break and we'll get to Melbourne and Adelaide in a sec.
Perfect.